Greetings, I'm Solidus-Skully and welcome back to Ratchet and Clank 3 Up Yours Arsehole. I've no idea why I keep saying that, it's just a childishly vain thing that I say about the game. But whatever, we're going to be departing from Arcadia now that the shield power is restored, and since we got that Captain Quark limited edition video comic, which wouldn't it technically make it like one of those graphic novel things that you watch with like voice acting and like slight motion or whatever? I think Metal Gear Solid and Watchmen did something like that, but whatever. The point is, we have a means of getting Quark's memory back, so let's go back to our hub world, the Phoenix, which, well... excuse me. And back again, sorry about that. Well, I guess it wouldn't really seem like a delay to you, but yeah, distractions, they happen. Anyway, back off to the Phoenix. Oh yeah! With all our usual getting into the ship animation thing. Yeah, as I was saying earlier, like, I mean, in terms of how the Phoenix operates as a hub world, it's a bit of a weird one. Like, I mean, it doesn't really have any typically hub world things. Like, I mean, you can't go off to characters and just talk to them randomly or get bits of flavor dialogue. Well, I mean, you can, but it's not quite in the way you expect. It's not like, I guess the way like an RPG would have set it up, where in the sense you could just talk to characters and they directly interact with Ratchet. It's just more of a background thing, really. So, I don't really know how to take this. Like, if it was meant to be as something like, I don't know. I still appreciate the whole home base aspect. I think maybe some aspects could have made it a little bit more personable. Well, then again, we do also have lots of living areas, so who knows really, but what is this? Captain Quark could see something going on, and Captain Quark. This is probably one of the most nostalgic things I've seen, to be perfectly honest. I have no idea why.
These are the real-life adventures of Captain Quark, the greatest superhero the galaxy has ever known.
Hey, this thing on?
Meticulously reconstructed by our crack research team with the aid of eyewitness accounts, bathroom gossip, wild speculation, and a magic 8-ball. In the early days of the 5th Solarian equinox, the Solana galaxy was terrorized by a notorious pirate known as Captain Blackstar.
Ahoy! Anybody else got a craving for fish and chips?
Though still in the prime of his youth, Captain Quark was already a living legend.
I was beating him up with a stick.
However, no previous adventure could have prepared Quark for his encounter with the dread pirate Blackstar and his crew of... Oh, please tell me this is a typo.
That's robotic pirate ghosts. Guess reading wasn't your subject, eh, Professor?
Right. Now we begin the interactive portion of Episode 1. Booty is in the eye of the beholder.
And so we have our first gameplay change-up, which is basically these 2D side-scroller level things, which is as basic as you could really get. I mean, you have coins to collect, you have health tokens you can pick up for a health boost, you can wall jump as... Well, I mean, you can wall jump and cross this area if you want to be a hashtag perfect speedrun, games done quick, whatever the fuck else that seems to get all the views these days. Yeah, you can wall jump across those two walls. You will have mandatory segments where you can do it, where they teach you the mechanic as well, but... Yeah, as you could probably no doubt tell, these sections were inspired by the likes of Mega Man X and, I believe Super Metroid as well, so... Well, I mean, it nowhere near reflects the design ethos of both of those games, but... You know, it's there. Again, by getting 100% of the coins, you basically end up getting, well, a platinum bolt, and a huge amount of bolts paid out to you. Yes, indeed, this is in fact a video game system that actually pays you for playing, which I suppose people these days could possibly equate to the amount of traction you probably get from, I guess, Patreon. I would say YouTube, like, ad revenue, but, yeah, that doesn't really pay out much anymore, or at least not to the degree where you could live off it in the same vein that you could with Blip TV, which, back in its heyday, actually had a very huge, like, monetary payout for a lot of people who were on that platform, which probably explains why they aren't around anymore, because they were generous to a fault. Even if they did have a little bit more stricter regulations towards the end of their life cycle, but that's neither here nor there at this point. But again, you are fighting robotic ghost pirates, which clearly makes Ratchet and Clank: Quest for Booty a bad game, according to detractors of the Future Trilogy, because they have it for reals, even though it's not really too out of the ordinary, because we have weird shit in all these games. Whatever. But that's getting a bit cynical. There was actually... Actually, yeah, I think we'll bring it up. There was initially going to be a very different level for this. Again, you can play this in the Insomniac Museum, but... Yeah, there was initially going to be like a much more difficult level. I'm guessing it was probably the first one they designed and didn't really playtest that much, but... Yeah, a much different level with a much different boss, where you actually would have fought against Captain Blackstar, or Darkstar, I think. But yeah, the boss we're going to be fighting here is much, much different. Again, I can imagine it was probably changed due to, like, balance testing and all that kind of stuff, but all the same, it is, you know, an interesting bit of development history. I believe there is also another Captain Quark vidcomic level that ended up being ultimately unused because of... mainly due to the fact that I guess it was kind of unfinished, because I don't think I've ever actually beaten that unfinished vidcomic level, but whatever, that's neither here nor there at this point. The first boss in the vidcomic section, this robo-eel thing, it's actually rather easy. And again, if you didn't think those laser blasters could cheese it enough, you could actually just use Quark's Fist, and you'll have like enough invincibility frames, and again, provided you have enough health, of course, you'd actually have enough, like, invincibility hit frames to the point where you can actually just beat the shit out of him and, well, whittle down his health rather quickly. And again, in terms of attacks, it's really nothing. It just floats around and, you know, yeah, gotta dodge falling rocks. Again, it's the first boss, so you're not really expecting much, but even still, it's just kind of pish. But alas, it blows up in a very satisfying manner, and we get the victorious theme song. Yeah, Captain Quark. Also, like, I mean, being realistic here, if video game systems actually paid people, I'm pretty sure nobody would want to work, like, ever again.
I mean, I've worked on some real junk, but this one takes the cake. Pirate, ghost, robots. I mean, what do they think, we're idiots?
Hey, Professor, snap to it!
Once again, the citizens of the Solana Galaxy owed their lives to the dauntless courage of the remarkable man behind the cube. With great reluctance, Quark accepted a meager fee for his services and promptly donated the entire sum to the Quark for Tots Scholarship Fund, a charity providing makeovers and buxom bimbos for needy people named Quark.
I've got a big heart. Mr. President? Yes, I got the fruit basket, thanks. It turns out I'm allergic to prunes. Yeah, who knew? What? Blackwater City is under attack. Yes, sir, I'm on my way.
The exciting, all-true, right, adventures of Captain Quark continue in Episode 2.
Well, who's that handsome devil?
It appears Quark has regained his memory.
Hey, this dressing room isn't fit for a pig! What kind of shoddy production are you people running?
That's him, all right.
He may need a while to adjust. In the meantime, I've got a mission that's perfect for you two. We've just learned of a prototype holographic device that can disguise the user as a Tyrannoid, even allowing him to speak Tyrannese.
Is it just me, or do you smell bananas?
Anyway, the device happens to be the grand prize on this week's Annihilation Nation. Check it out.
Tonight on Annihilation Nation, we feature an all-new Deathcourse. Let's meet tonight's victim. Oops, I mean contestant, Fred. Fred is a Gadgetron accountant who claims he once had a Morphle Ray go off in his pants. What a champ. Let's take a look at what he's up against. Doesn't look too bad now, does it? Good luck, Fred! Next!
Another day, another Deathcourse.
Yes, Ratchet truly knows what is up. But anyway, yeah, we're actually going to another returning gameplay feature from previous games. Well, previous game, because it was in Ratchet and Clank 2. But yeah, unlike Ratchet 2, this is pretty much the only sort of arena section that you're going to be getting yourself into. But again, I do think, given the game's development cycle, it is a nice way of, again, having a secondary mode that revolves around the core gameplay, and to be honest, I actually really like Annihilation Nation. Well, for two reasons we'll be seeing in a bit.
Are you ready to play? All right, let's meet our first contestant. He's an unemployed rocket mechanic who claims to have saved 2 galaxies, but most people know him as Secret Agent Clank's bumbling chauffeur. He hopes that disguising himself as a tyrannoid will make him more attractive to the ladies.
Hey,
Give a warm welcome to Ratchet! Ratchet will attempt to be the first contestant ever to survive the Deathcourse. Contestant number 1, are you ready?
bring it on!
Oh yeah, let's do it, rock on, woohoo! Yeah, jelly and jam time, dude. But anyway, this is one of 2 reasons why I like Annihilation Nation. Like, I mean, again, you have this very game show-esque, but also kind of extreme-looking elimination challenge style obstacle course, which, again, with all the many TV shows being made about this sort of thing, kind of fits naturally, albeit a little bit more dangerously. But again, you got the lava, you got lasers, you got death-defying robots. Like, I mean, if Annihilation Nation was a real TV show, I would, honest to God, watch it. But that's mainly because there's a lot of fire, a lot of danger, and risk of dying, so that's probably why they don't have it. Or then again, I suppose that would probably mean I'm a fan of Dread Zone, which, if that existed, I'd probably watch it as well. But again, regardless of such, again, this is basically your obstacle courses. Very platforming heavy, has a heavier reliance on just battling your way through waves of enemies and making it to the end of the obstacle course, and I believe it's either if you get there in a certain time or if you do it without taking damage, yeah, you get a skill point for it. I think it might be the time-based thing though, but I kind of forget at this point. It's been years since I've done like an all skill point run, so yeah, I'll have to think about that. And yes, what is this? It is another Quark vid comic. No, but we won't be doing 2 of those in one video. We'll be taking care of that a little bit later. And of course, now comes the secondary point, and this will look very familiar to people who played Ratchet and Clank 2. Arena combat. And in my opinion, this one is vastly improved because it no longer has the weird anti-gravity gimmick that the one on, like the second Megacorp Games thing had, but at the same time it also, I'd say, has a bit more visual pizzazz than what the Mactar Resort one had, because again, it's got a very orange-dominated color scheme, it's got bright lights, which actually kind of remind me a lot of the quiz game Buzz for some reason. I don't know, maybe it's just like of the era, but that's kind of what I associate it with. This sort of like soft glow on the lighting here. Yeah, it's kind of weird. And now we have a targeting reticle, which is what I was mentioning in the previous part. Weapons gaining secondary properties. I don't know, it really does, I think, streamline like a lot of the leveling up process and actually make your weapons feel like they're leveling up worth a shit rather than Ratchet and Clank 2, where they basically just sort of had some levels just basically kind of make the gun feel a little bit worthless. Which is actually a bit of an interesting thing. At the risk of spoiling things here in regards to the lava gun, yeah, initially, Insomniac Games wanted to make the lava gun, you know, evolve into the meteor gun because they thought that would have been more powerful, but fans actually didn't like it very much and preferred the lava gun. So what they did in Ratchet and Clank 3 was that they made its, you know, fully leveled up form become the liquid nitrogen gun, which, let me just say, is absolutely brilliant and I fucking love it. I don't know, I think Insomniac has always been good at gauging fan feedback, so, yeah, it's just why I think... Well, I think it's part of the reason why they've become such, you know, favoured developers even after all these years. Like, I mean, in spite of what some might say about the comedy in some of their games, like Sunset Overdrive or the recent Ratchet and Clank reboot, like, I mean, I don't think you could ever really say that from terms of, like, gameplay or whatever, they've really fallen behind. But again, I stay my tongue on that. Inferno power! Yeah, woohoo! Again, you can actually continue doing Annihilation Nation for all the challenges and complete the Quarktastic to get a trophy that will bring you one step closer to accessing the Insomniac Museum, but yeah, It's, again, it's just more of a time sink. You can get some bolts on the way. And ultimately, if you want to level up some weapons, this is a perfect place to do it, so yeah, I have no complaints about that. Anyway, I'm Solidus-Skully, keep it new metal, and I'll see you next time in the Ratchet and Clank commentary.
I don't believe it, folks! He survived the Deathcourse! And here to give you your prize, the lovely Miss Courtney Gears! How about that, folks? He is better looking!
Do not be alarmed, Sasha. That is Ratchet.
Oh, I see you won the Terror guys. It's very convincing. Anyway, there's something I think the two of you need to see.
Work personal log, entry 101301. After I personally vanquished the Protopet menace and revamped the Megacorp testing facility, I decided to focus my efforts on protecting the endangered creatures of the Florana jungle. But when news arrived that Dr. Nefarious had again risen to power, I knew where my true destiny lay. The training necessary to get back into tip-top shape has been exhausting, and my mind overflows with brilliant concepts. Though I still yearn for the bittersweet stench of my simian companions. The time has come to resume my duties as the greatest hero the galaxy has ever known, Captain Quark!
You're not gonna believe this, but the President put Quark in charge of the fight against Nefarious. Our new commander just called his first team meeting. You better get back to the Phoenix right away.
I agree. This does not sound good.